April is National Autism Awareness Month, and according to the National Autism Association, it now affects 1 in 44 children. And boys are 4 times more likely to be autistic than girls. Our next guest, BRITT YAP, is the mother of an autistic child and has created a nonprofit organization called High Vibrational Child that provides energy work to autistic people and their families. Thanks so much for being here with us, BRITT.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So you say that rather than viewing autistic children as people having a disorder, there's a more acceptable way to understand and interact with our children. Can you please explain?
That's actually the perfect word that you use, acceptable. I remember when my son was diagnosed, and the way that the professionals and the doctors approached it was very much like giving me a death sentence for my child. And so I really want people to be more open and understanding that autistic people, they just want to be understood, they want to be accepted, and they're going to have some accommodations that we're going to have to make for them. But it's not something that needs to be cured. It's not something that is a death sentence for anybody. And I really want to change the narrative, really want to change the narrative. And that's what we're doing with our nonprofit, is really changing the narrative and the paradigm. And if people can look at them as just simply different, their brain just works differently, they're neurodiverse. Some of the most brilliant things that have contributed to our society have come from people like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Tesla, Newton, all who are autistic. So just shifting the paradigm is really what we're trying to do here.
How old was your son when he was diagnosed with autism?
Two. So
Okay.
around 2 years old, we started noticing speech, right? That he wasn't
Mm.
talking like the other kids his age in daycare. And so we went to the doctor, and my husband was kind of preparing me for it. And he's like, they're gonna tell us something. And I thought, I didn't think anything of it. And then I remember the doctor looking at me and kind of telling us at that point. And for parents, they kind of go into a frantic mode, because that's kind of how the institutions, as far as doctors and professionals, make them feel like it's frantic and they need to do something right away and they have to fix their child. And we had a month where we were really stressed out because we didn't know what to do and we didn't have resources. And I started looking at Facebook groups led by autistic adults, and that's when I was really like, oh, this is the approach,
Right.
because these adults have lived it. And so it's like, I'm Native Hawaiian, and I wouldn't go and ask someone who's not Native Hawaiian, how can, we better approach this? So I went straight to autistic adults and figured it out.
And you developed this nonprofit. It's actually called
Mhm.
High Vibrational Child. What are you
Mhm.
doing? How are you spreading the word and helping other people?
My background's in energy work. I've been a Reiki master for 10 years now. And I realized that through energy work, we can better kind of quiet our minds and connect through the vibration of love and through our life force energy. And so we provide affordable and accessible Reiki sessions and even Reiki classes for parents, for autistic people and their families, so that they can better connect through their life force energy, through this vibration of love, and just kind of feel at peace.
And how does that work when, you're engaged with an autistic child and you're doing this Reiki work with them? What happens inside of them?
It's funny, we just had an event, an online event, and I could actually send energy work to people anywhere in the world. And we asked them after, how did they feel? And the adults were like, that was so relaxing. And the children were there too. They could be in the room, and I was just sending energy work literally through the computer, because we're all connected through energy and love. And they could feel it. They could feel it in their bodies. They could feel more relaxed and at peace. And I think this way we can better connect with each other on what our needs are. My son is non-speaking. He's verbal because he makes sounds with his throat, but he's non-speaking. And so I really have to tap into what is it that he wants? What is it
Right.
that he needs? And Reiki helps us better connect that way.
Britt, we have about 15 seconds left. Any last words of advice for other parents of autistic children?
Just find an autistic adult, reach out to Facebook groups that are led by autistic adults, and really start to understand and shift your paradigm, that just lead with love, lead with acceptance. That's all we want.
All right. Thanks so much, Britt Yap. You are an inspiration doing good work out there.